"We need to talk about this," Garret said, almost before I had even stepped in through the front door. Into the living room we went, back on the same sofa we typically had group therapy sessions with Dr. Iserman. He faced me on the sofa, taking my hands in his, and my heart ached with anxiety from the strange look he gave me. So cold. So not Garret. "Mia, I want to marry you. Do you want to marry me?" he asked. "Of course I do." "I don't like this weird tension between us. It's been there ever since I proposed. I know that we've only been together for 2 months, and there's still a lot we have to learn about each other. But you need to understand that marriage is about compromise, and if I don't like something, then I'd hope you wouldn't force me to do it." I laughed incredulously, cutting him off. "What do you know about marriage? You've never been married. I have." My eyes met his with a slicing glare. He was ticking me off, talking to me like I was a child, like I knew nothing about marriage. Marriage is largely about doing what you don't want to in order to keep the other person happy. If you don't understand that, then maybe you're not mature enough to wed. The tension in the room instantly kicked up about 10 degrees. I expected him to come back with something snarky, but instead he simply said, "Well then, maybe I'm not." We sat there in silence for several minutes, avoiding each other's gaze. I could feel my blood simmering beneath my veins with anger and desperation. I was about to lose him. I could just feel it. And over what? Some stupid fetish I had? Was it really worth it? The sex wasn't bad. It was just vanilla and boring. I had been married to a man like that before. The passion had died out within the first 3 months of our marriage. Sex became a chore, not a pleasure. I didn't want to relive that nightmare again. "How about we try some stuff out, keep what you like, and we won't do what you don't like," I suggested. "Well, I don't like pain, so that probably destroys your entire agenda for me." His tone was strained. "You liked the ice cubes until—" "I don't even want things to get that far again. And you obviously have no perception of what would be unpleasant for me." Now he was really ticking me off. "You know what? Fine. I don't want to marry you after all. You're such a stubborn ass." "Fine with me." He shrugged. Ugh. I stood, giving him one last look of anger. Garret simply sat there, staring straight ahead, refusing to acknowledge me, which only ticked me off more. "Goodbye, Garret Fable." His name spilled from my lips hatefully as I walked away. My pace was slow, silently beckoning him to come after me despite my anger, but he simply sat there like a statue, cold and unmoving. Heavy sobs belted out of my throat as I drove home. My relationship with Garret Fable was over. I had ruined it. No amount of pillow snuggling in the entire world could have given me comfort that night. I cried and cried and cried, and then got up to eat ice cream, and then cried some more. It was like a never-ending sea of tears, a rain that would never cease.